Today's news from Nepal brings heartbreak as a plane crash in Kathmandu during takeoff has resulted in the loss of at least 18 lives. The aircraft, operated by SAA Airlines, was on a test flight to Pokhara, a beloved tourist destination, and carried 17 company employees along with 2 crew members. In a miraculous twist, the plane's captain survived and is now receiving medical treatment. What might have led to such a catastrophic event on what was supposed to be a routine flight? Join us as we explore the details and seek answers to this horrific accident. Plane crash in Nepal's capital. This morning, just after 11:15 a.m., a devastating plane crash occurred right after takeoff from Kathmandu's main airport. The plane was carrying 19 people, and sadly, 18 did not survive. The pilot, however, miraculously survived and was quickly rushed to a nearby hospital for urgent medical care. Currently, everyone is eagerly waiting for more information about what exactly caused this tragedy. In Nepal, flying has become increasingly worrying. Just last year, a tragic accident took the lives of 72 people. Over the past 5 years, there have been 4 deadly crashes. Looking back over 8 years, the numbers are even more alarming. About 70 crashes and nearly 900 lives lost. It's clear that improving flight safety in Nepal needs immediate and serious attention. So far, the details provided by the authorities about this recent crash are few. They've confirmed that the crash occurred shortly after the plane took off. The plane was actually undergoing a maintenance test flight and was heading towards Pokhara, a city in the west of Nepal. Everyone is anxious to learn more as they try to understand the full extent of what happened. The response to the crash was prompt and effective. Since the crash site was close to the airport, the rescue teams were able to reach it within minutes. The rescue operation is nearly complete. The fast response and decisive action of these teams have been impressive, showing their readiness for such emergencies. This sequence of crashes raises serious questions about why flying in Nepal is so risky. Could it be the mountainous terrain, the weather conditions, or other factors? It's crucial to figure out why these crashes keep happening to prevent more in the future. The emotional toll on the families and friends of the victims is deep and heartbreaking. The community and the entire country are feeling the impact of each tragic loss. During these tough times, the nation's collective heart goes out to those affected, offering them support and condolences. As we wait for more detailed information, the focus remains on figuring out why these accidents happen and what can be done to stop them. This is also a time to think about how important it is to follow strict safety rules and do regular maintenance checks to keep everyone flying safe. The problem of airline safety in Nepal is not just a local issue, but a worldwide concern. It involves following international standards and practices, and it requires cooperation between Nepali aviation officials and international aviation bodies to make meaningful safety improvements. There's still more to consider. In the next few days, as more information becomes available, it will be crucial to watch what the authorities do next. Are they investigating thoroughly? Are they putting stronger safety measures in place? The actions they take will show how serious they are about solving these issues and what we can expect in terms of making air travel in Nepal safer in the future. Right now, the most important thing is to provide support and help to those directly hit by this tragedy. This includes not just the survivors, but also the families and friends of those who died. Healing from such an event takes a long time, and every bit of support and understanding helps. As we talk about these issues, it's vital to keep up to date and alert about the changes being promised and the improvements being made. Only by keeping a watchful eye and taking active steps can we hope to see fewer such tragedies and ensure safer skies for everyone flying. By advocating for transparency and accountability, we can hold responsible parties to higher standards. This commitment to safety will help prevent future incidents and protect the well-being of passengers and crew alike. This isn't the first time the world has faced such tragic events in aviation. Past accidents have taught us many hard lessons. Tragic air incidents that changed aviation. Plane crashes are deeply tragic, but each incident has led to valuable lessons and significant improvements in aviation safety. One of the most devastating crashes occurred on March 27, 1977, in Tenerife, Spain, where 2 large planes collided on a foggy runway. This was due to a misunderstanding between the pilots and the control tower and a failure to adhere to strict safety protocols. As a result, 583 lives were lost. This tragic event highlighted the critical importance of clear communication between pilots and air traffic controllers and led to significant changes in cockpit procedures to enhance safety. Another catastrophic event took place on August 12, 1985, with Japan Airlines Flight 123. A previously botched repair led to the aircraft breaking apart in midair and crashing into a mountain. This accident, which resulted in 520 deaths, stands as the deadliest single aircraft accident in history. It underscored the importance of meticulous aircraft maintenance and the need for repairs to meet stringent safety standards. In November 1996, another horrifying crash occurred in India due to pilot errors and communication failures. This incident claimed the lives of all 349 people aboard the two planes involved. It highlighted the need for standardized communication protocols for pilots, especially in international flights, to prevent miscommunication. On June 23, 1985, Air India Flight 182 was brought down by a bomb, resulting in the loss of 329 lives. This attack, linked to extremist activities, led to a significant tightening of security measures across the globe to prevent similar acts of violence. On March 3, 1974, Turkish Airlines Flight 981 crashed due to an improperly secured cargo door, leading to the deaths of 346 people. This incident prompted redesigns in cargo door mechanisms and improved training for ground staff to handle such critical components better. Another significant incident was on July 19, 1989, when United Airlines Flight 232, despite a catastrophic engine failure, managed a crash landing thanks to the skillful handling by the pilots. Although 112 lives were lost, many were saved, emphasizing the importance of skilled pilot training and emergency preparedness. A notable incident that raised worldwide concern occurred on July 17, 2014, when Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 was shot down over Ukraine by a missile, taking 298 lives. This tragic event highlighted the dangers of flying over conflict zones and led to changes in how flight routes are planned to avoid such areas, enhancing passenger safety. On a chilly day in 1982, Air Florida Flight 90 crashed into a frozen river due to inadequate de-icing before takeoff, coupled with poor handling of the plane by the pilots under icy conditions. This resulted in 78 deaths and underscored the necessity of comprehensive pre-flight checks, especially in adverse weather, leading to more rigorous de-icing protocols. In 1980, Saudi Flight 163 experienced a fire shortly after takeoff. Despite a safe landing, delays in evacuating the aircraft resulted in the tragic loss of 301 lives. This incident demonstrated the crucial need for efficient evacuation procedures and improved fire safety measures on board aircraft. A deeply distressing incident in 1988 involved Iran Air Flight 655, which was mistakenly shot down by a U.S. Navy ship, claiming all 290 lives on board. This tragedy highlighted the need for better systems to distinguish between military and civilian aircraft to avoid such catastrophic errors. These tragic incidents have been pivotal in driving improvements in aviation safety. Enhanced training for pilots and air traffic controllers has been implemented to ensure that communication is always clear and precise, reducing the chances of errors that could lead to accidents. Aircraft are now subjected to more rigorous inspections and maintenance checks to ensure they are in top condition before taking to the skies. Furthermore, the planning and management of flight routes have been improved, with a particular focus on avoiding airspace over conflict zones to ensure safer travel. Emergency procedures have also been significantly enhanced, with regular training for crew members on how to effectively handle various potential emergencies during flights. These collective efforts have greatly increased the safety and reliability of air travel, demonstrating a commitment to learning from past tragedies to prevent future ones. To understand the situation in Nepal, it's important to look at the country's long and complex history. The rich history of Nepal. Nepal, a country sandwiched between India and the Tibet Autonomous Region of China, doesn't have any coastline. It's all surrounded by land. The country's terrain is really diverse. It has everything from flat agricultural lands in the south called the Terai region to the super tall Himalayan mountains up north, which include Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on the planet. This place has a long and layered history, shaped by different ruling families, a variety of cultural influences, and some pretty important historical events. Let's start at the beginning. The earliest kings in Nepal were the Karatis, believed to have settled there around the 7th or 8th century BCE. These guys kick-started the first known royal family in the area, and they ruled for a long time. Fast forward to the 4th century CE, and the Karatis were replaced by the Licchavis, who came from India. The time when the Licchavis were in charge is famous for its cultural and architectural developments. They built some amazing temples, like Changu Narayan and Pashupatinath, which are big tourist spots today. Then came the Malla dynasty in the 12th century, marking the start of what many consider the golden age of Nepal's history, which lasted until the late 18th century. The Kathmandu Valley, under the Mallas, turned into a thriving center for art, culture, and architecture. The Mallas were really into building stuff. They put up a ton of temples and palaces and really got into celebrating with big festivals and creating new literature. But internal fights led to the area being split into 3 separate kingdoms: Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur. In the mid-18th century, Prithvi Narayan Shah, who was the king of a small place called Gorkha, decided he wanted to bring all of Nepal under one ruler. By 1769, he had managed to take control of the Kathmandu Valley and started the Shah dynasty, which ruled Nepal for nearly 200 years. During this time, Nepal's borders kept changing because of various fights with neighboring places, including a big war with the British East India Company. This war ended with the Treaty of Sugauli in 1816, where Nepal had to give up some land but managed to stay independent. From the 19th century to the early 20th century, the Rana dynasty was in charge. They were a line of hereditary prime ministers who actually held the power, making the Shah kings just figureheads. The Ranas kept Nepal pretty much closed off from the rest of the world. Even though there wasn't much progress in society or the economy during their time, they did go big on building palaces and public buildings. Nepal's isolation ended in 1951 after a big revolt supported by King Tribhuvan, which brought down the Rana rule and started a constitutional monarchy. This shift happened at the same time as Nepal joined the United Nations in 1955. But the following years were pretty unstable politically, with lots of government changes and some stretches of strict rule, leading up to a Maoist rebellion that lasted for about 10 years starting in the mid-1990s. This rebellion, along with a lot of unhappiness with the monarchy, led to Nepal becoming a republic in 2008. This new Republic of Nepal had its hands full, trying to bring former fighters back into society, listening to the needs of different ethnic groups, and rebuilding after a huge earthquake hit in 2015. Culturally, Nepal is a blend of Hindu and Buddhist traditions, which reflects its deep historical connections to both religions. It's also where Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, was born, and his teachings have influenced people all over Asia and the world. Nepal's story isn't just about changes in who's in charge, it's also about how its culture and society have evolved. There's a rich tradition of arts, crafts, and festivals. Cities like Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur are famous for their old-time architecture, like stupas, temples, and palaces. Big festivals like Dashain, Tihar, and Indra Yatra are important parts of Nepalese culture, with lots of music, dance, and ceremonies that celebrate different gods and remember historical events. The change from being a closed-off kingdom to a modern republic shows how resilient and adaptable Nepal is. Despite facing challenges like economic growth, including everyone in society, and balancing old traditions with new ways of doing things, Nepal keeps valuing its rich cultural history while it figures out how to handle the complexities of modern life and government issues. As it moves forward, Nepal is working hard to build a stable political environment that can support and help its diverse and lively community thrive. The story of commercial aviation is one of progress and survival, changing the way we connect with the world. From Wright brothers to modern airlines. The story of commercial aviation kicks off in the early 1900s, transforming into a vast network that brings together people and cultures from every corner of the globe. It all began with the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, who made the first powered flight in 1903. Their flight wasn't just a brief liftoff, but a pivotal moment that demonstrated how practical and revolutionary powered flight could be for transportation. The real beginnings of using planes for traveling distances started in 1914 with the establishment of the St. Petersburg-Tampa airboat line in Florida. This was the first real airline that offered scheduled flights, making it easier for people to cross Tampa Bay. In these early days, airplanes evolved quickly from simple constructions of wood and fabric to more durable metal designs. This shift not only made planes safer, but also allowed them to fly longer distances, helping the industry to grow at an incredible pace. During the 1920s and 1930s, often celebrated as the golden age of aviation, flying became a much more common part of life. This era saw airlines like Pan American World Airways, Pan Am, and Trans World Airlines, TWA, start to offer longer and even international flights. This time also welcomed the first flight attendants and improved services for passengers, which made flying a much more enjoyable experience. World War II was a crucial time for advancing flight technology. Innovations made for the war, like radar for detecting aircraft and powerful new engines, quickly made their way into commercial airplanes, making flying safer and more efficient. After the war, the introduction of jet engines in the 1950s marked the beginning of the jet age. Planes like the de Havilland Comet and the Boeing 707 changed everything with their incredible speed and ability to fly long distances, making international travel quicker and more accessible. In the decades that followed, planes got even bigger, with the introduction of the Boeing 747, a giant aircraft that could carry hundreds of people across the world. The 1960s and 1970s also saw significant changes in the industry, like the formation of major airline alliances and changes in government regulations that led to more competition and the rise of low-cost carriers. These changes made flying cheaper, allowing more people to travel by air than ever before. Moving into the 21st century, the focus in aviation has shifted towards making flying more sustainable and efficient. Newer aircraft like the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and the Airbus A350 are designed to use less fuel and reduce the environmental impact of flying. Technological advancements have also made flying safer and more efficient, with improvements in GPS and automation. Commercial aviation has long been intertwined with shifts in culture and economics. As airlines have expanded, they've greatly enhanced global trade, tourism, and the exchange of cultural ideas, effectively bringing different parts of the world closer. This growth has turned airlines into a vital component of the world economy, supporting millions of jobs and playing a significant role in the economic development of countries around the globe. Despite numerous obstacles, including economic slumps, regulatory changes, and global emergencies like the COVID-19 outbreak, the aviation sector has demonstrated an impressive ability to endure and evolve. Time and again, it has managed to not only survive challenges, but also to emerge stronger by continually adapting and embracing innovation. Looking to the future, the prospects for aviation are promising, driven by advancements in sustainable aviation fuels, the development of electric planes, and improvements in air traffic control technologies. The transformation of aviation, from the simple flights of the Wright brothers to the sophisticated global air travel network of today, has revolutionized the way we connect with each other across distances. With ongoing technological progress, aviation is poised to continue shaping our global interactions in new and exciting ways. This evolution also underscores the industry's crucial role in facilitating international connections and understanding. As we move forward, the integration of more environmentally friendly technologies and smarter flight management systems promises to make air travel more efficient and accessible. Thus, the aviation industry is not just about transportation. It's a key player in global integration, economic development, and cultural exchange, set to offer even broader horizons in the years to come. Could this tragic plane crash in Nepal involve more than just a technical glitch? What do you believe led to this devastating incident? We'd love to hear your opinions. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more.